Hello, everyone. Welcome back.
Hi.
My name is Yasmine.
My name is Bernie.
And you're listening to the Fashion Football Podcast and watching today, since it's a video episode. This is the podcast where we have candid conversations about the fashion industry with industry professionals.
A mouthful.
Mm-hmm.
Today we have a guest, Vero. Hi.
Yes. Hi. Oh my God, it's my first podcast, so
We're taking her virginity today.
Nervous, yes. So my name is Veronique Beaupre, and I'm a hairdresser, a hairstylist, and I'm the owner of Local B Salon in Montreal.
Yeah, it's a very popular hair salon. If you guys have not checked it out, this is your plug.
You definitely should. For sure.
Thank
She's
you.
great at what she does. We've seen her work her magic in the flesh.
Yeah,
So
we actually met on set for the first time.
Yeah.
We had this beautiful model. Her name is Martine.
Shout out to
She
you,
had
Martine.
beautiful curly hair.
yes.
Amazing.
And then Vero comes and she's playing with her hair, and I'm like, oh my God. I was a little stressed, I'm not gonna lie.
We both were, yeah.
Because
all good.
we have seen so much bad experiences, or
Yes.
she's even had bad experiences
Yeah.
with hairstylists when
Yeah.
it comes to specifically on set
Mm-hmm.
in the fashion industry.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really a myth that there's a lot of non-black hairstylists who do not know how to work with curly, coily, kinky hair.
Mm-hmm.
So what made you learn to work on textured hair?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, you know what? The grass is always greener, you know, on the other side. So this is my natural texture. I got like straight straw hair, and I hate it. And since I'm super young, I've always wanted to have curly hair. That's my dream texture. This is what I personally love. And I did perm. I did my own like twisted bobby pin to have like the real more kinky texture. I did everything. And honestly, for me, when I go dance and I sweat a little bit, then what's up? it's just like reducing and looking like just a little ton of frizz, and it's just not looking good anyway. So I think I'm passionate about curly hair, probably because I don't have that texture, and I've always wanted to have that texture. And I think that's what made me start to play more with curly hair and really be passionate about it. And I think then you attract clients that, you know, that's how you start, and it's getting rolling.
Right. So let's go back in time a little bit.
Yeah.
How did you start as a hairstylist, and what made you want to get into this industry, work in fashion as well? Because a lot of hairstylists don't work in fashion.
No, they don't.
And what made you want to open a salon?
Oh
This
my
is
God.
like
It's a loaded question, but
There's a lot.
we can go bit by bit.
No, yeah. I mean, I was studying in art, so did my art school in the Cégep du Vieux-Montréal, and honestly, I didn't know what I wanted to do at university, and I'm like more of an action girl. I wasn't like, I don't want to study for my dad to get a diploma or whatever. So I said, I'm going to take a break, thinking of what is going to be my path, what's going to be my university, what do I want to do? And then my mom came up and she's like, why don't you do like a hair school, you know? So at least you learn something. And then if you go to university, you can have a, you know, side job doing hair or whatever. So I did it. I went to school, and honestly, it was love at first sight. For me, it was just like something like, you know, artists, they have their fabric, they have their material, and for me it was hair. So I never really treated hair as like a hairdresser. It's really been for me a craft where I can create, and I never felt I've worked for I don't want to say like 24 years. I mean, oh my God, 25 years? I don't even know. I don't count anymore. Okay, let's say it like that. And so that's the school part. And then what was the other question? Sorry.
What made you want to get into the industry, especially on
Yeah.
the fashion side?
Yeah.
I think it's also my mom. So my mom's been the mentor, I guess, of
The
all of
pioneer of it
that.
all.
Yeah, because she was so fashion. She used to have looks like short bleached hair, like blue hair, crazy glasses. I mean, she's always been even dressing me up when I was a kid, like with all those. I mean, I was probably her little doll, whatever. But I mean, I was making fun of people were making fun of me at school because I was too fashion. They were calling me the name of my jacket or whatever because I was maybe the original or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's
I
where
call it a trendsetter, but anyway.
Yeah.
yeah, back in the days, I think it was a little like, why is she like wearing those weird clothing and whatever? And especially young, you know, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know, 10 or wearing
Kids are
those
cruel.
leather skirts, whatever. I mean, she was pretty funky, so probably for my mom.
That's so funny. And what's been your journey like starting your salon?
Mm-hmm.
That's like I fell at the right place at the right moment. So my hair mentor, which is Anna, she used to own the school. She's still owning the school. It was called Gandini back in the days. Now it's Pure Academy. And it's on Saint Denis, like not too far from here, corner of Sherbrooke. She was the owner of the school. And then she opened like one of the biggest salons in Montreal called Pure Salon. And I was like their first assistant there. And this is where I started. And I think for me, it was like maybe looking at her, or it was like I wanted to have my own place, you know?
So, that's beautiful.
Since
That's
I
nice.
started, like probably, I was like 20. And I said, I
Wow.
want my own salon. Like, one day.
I feel like I've been asking you, bombarding you with questions, but
Go ahead.
I'd love to know, like, what to you is the importance to having a mentor? Because I feel like I hear a lot of people talk about having a mentor, and it's been something it's been on my mind because I don't think I have one. So like,
Oh my God,
me
it's so
neither.
precious.
yeah,
It is really precious, and I think I'm a mentor. So I had mentors, and I still have some in the fashion industry. Now coming back from the fashion week, I'm looking for specific things every time I go, and I'm learning so much. So I think you need, and you have to go and ask. I mean, I fell through it like naturally.
Yeah.
But I do think you can go and ask for a mentor. People are maybe shy, but I do think if you have knowledge and you're ready to share it, you can go and hold bobby pins for you pins, maybe, I don't know. And on a set or whatever, just to watch and to learn.
Yeah.
And being a good assistant is also something you got to learn to and having that like relaxed vibe as well, not bringing stress, even if you're super stressed because it's somebody who's impressing you or you're looking forward to.
Yeah. Energy transfers. So
yeah, especially on a set.
Yeah.
yeah, that's so true.
Big time. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Crazy.
Yeah. Well, talking about Fashion Week, since you did mention it, you were able to work at Fashion Week a few times before. So how was your experience and what were your takeaways from the entire thing?
Oh my God. So many. I have to write them down. I'm like, I have to, when I come back, I have to like write down or practice whatever I learned or note it. Even if I take a lot of videos, I do some reels so I can remember exactly everything, but it's going super fast. This is like one of the most like inspiring experience. Like I would say, I have a few in my career. That one, during the Fashion Week, being there, one of my first show was Moschino.
Oh.
It was like, oh my God. And the hair leads as well. They all have their thing. They all have a different vibe. And then you get to learn so much from them. It's crazy. So, and then you get to go around the town and then you get to do different venues. So studios is like very, classic. You know, you're going to get like power. Sometimes you get out of power, imagine 30 to 40 blow dryers at the same time on a venue that's like, I mean, so much things, but being and seeing the designers, their vibe as well, the style, everyone working for that same goal. It's just like, it's hard to describe, but it is such a good feeling and it's so inspiring.
I definitely feel like no one will understand what it's like to be on set until they're on set.
That's true.
Yeah, that's it. It's very like, I don't know, it's crazy. My husband's been like, he went with me and he got to see, and he knows when I look at him and it's like, just try to disappear, like just disappear right now.
Yeah.
Like, and then when it's hectic, just before all that adrenaline and all those looks that are created, and it's pretty last minute actually. You get the information last minute, and things are moving around, shifting around, so you got to be very open. And on one show, you can just old bobby pins. It doesn't matter. You really have to put your ego like
Aside.
aside
Yeah.
and be able to be open to whatever. It's
Mhm.
sometimes I just like on a show, I think I just washed hair and give some hair and it's
Yeah.
fine. You know what I mean?
That's like a place where there's no room for anyone to be entitled whatsoever, no matter what role you're playing in that whole process. I feel like
You are the ends.
yeah.
You're
Yeah.
there to give your ends, to help the lead, whatever he wants or she wants, whatever.
That's what you have to do.
We're all there for one reason. It's to make the models look the best to the
Yeah.
taste of the lead, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right. So how did you whoa. How were you able to even get to your first fashion week?
Yeah.
Because
I'm
I think it's
curious.
like from Montreal to New York, how do you get the connects? How do you get there?
Yeah.
I've been very fortunate to have one of my, because I've been, so all my career, I've did a lot of education for L'Oreal Professional. So I did tons of shows for L'Oreal Professional. And in that team, I met Paul, which I think we were, 22, we go on from 22 years ago. We were one of the first team for L'Oreal Professional. And Paul got married with Jalen, and then they started to do the New York Fashion Week. And I told them, guys, I really want to go. Like, I would love to go. And so I volunteered, honestly. Like, it's really some kind, there's connections, but it's not about money or anything. I think it's just about the experience. So I volunteered, and we're kind of creating that little team with Jalen and Paul. So they're friends. We see each other. We've been to Coachella together. It was
so
like,
nice.
so
That's
it's
a
such a, yeah, it's really cool to see them over there. Yeah.
Wow.
Love that for you. Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm
I
like
love how you talk about your
processing.
job. Like,
I know.
I'm just like, wow.
It like re-inspires.
Yeah, I
reignites
always
it a
say,
little
like,
bit.
especially people who've been in the industry for so long, I'm like, I can't wait to be like, I've been in this industry for 20 years and doing this, and I still feel as excited than I did as I do right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It makes it worth it.
Yeah, you have to keep going, I think, the most. But I do think if you got the fire since day one, this fire shouldn't leave. It's like
That's true.
that kind of fire that you just have to maintain.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you have to do. Maintain it and create, and don't try to keep yourself in that comfort zone.
Right.
I do think it's that comfort zone, and I'm not like that. I'm always trying, like, if there's a nice straight path, I'll always take the bush to go all the way around and finish at the same place. But yeah, that's my style.
Yeah.
So how do you maintain that fire? Because I love that you said that. Oops. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry. Yeah, I mean, having your own place is certainly having a part of it, like creating a team. I'm a team person. I love to work with people. I don't think I would be really happy of like just renting a chair and doing my own things. And I do, like, I mean, I do respect that all, and it's great if it's your thing. But for me, it's all, I think together we go way much further. Maybe not as fast, but I mean, like, we do go further. And that's it. It's that little bond, that connection, that inspiration.
Yeah.
You know, I've got like so many, and it doesn't matter how long you're doing hair. You get inspired by like people that right up at the school that just finished school. And that's it, is to get like a little bit of everybody, and the inspiration is like going through. Of course, I'm like one of the mentors, but I mean, I don't know everything.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And the more you are diversified in your team, in your expertise, the more you're going to learn, the more you're going to grow. And
That's
I do
true.
think the most so I've always treated all my colleagues like artists.
Yeah.
And this is your heart, and I respect it. And I'll never like put in a client that you're not comfortable with, because this is no. And I tell my team to say no when they're not comfortable. I do think this is like very important, and we don't learn that in school neither. Like, if you're not comfortable to do something,
That's crazy.
Right.
just don't do it, you know. Just don't go there. Don't go for it.
No, I do think that's very beneficial, especially in hair, because like you're literally messing with someone, specifically women. You're messing with somebody's crown. Like, that's their.
You are lucky because you can just take off your dress. Makeup artist, same thing. You can just take off the makeup. But us, like, people you wear, this is the thing you wear every day.
Yeah.
So you got to be happy with it.
Yeah.
And also, if the person demands something that's not possible, neither we're people pleaser for sure, but I would advise not to do it because you want to please somebody. And that's like, I think in the beginning, you do more of that mistake because you really want to satisfy somebody instead of putting your professional hat and say, well, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Or not in that time frame.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like that's one thing too that I like that you said that perspective because I never thought about it because whenever I speak to people about like styling and stuff, I always tell them, especially when I'm doing like personal styling, it's a little bit different with models, but with just everyday people, like dressing yourself is a very intimate thing. Like you do it just like on your own by yourself or maybe like in front of your partner. Like it's rare that you get undressed and you get dressed and in front of someone, but when you're working with a stylist, like they're with you through that process, you know? So it's like there's like a very intimate thing that builds, and it makes sense to me that a lot of hairstylists have a very intimate relationship with their clients.
Of course, like I just got my first personal shopping experience like with the stylist and I'm talking to you about it because I changed my hair color because I did the styling with because I had a thing where I know I have taste, but even though it's never like a stylist, what your vision is for someone, it's so different, and I wanted to have more colors because I've always go with the same pattern, and then when I saw my like a pink outfit and I was like, my hair needs to change. So I did like I don't know if that happens often, but I'm like, I changed my hair because of my new wardrobe.
A lot of
that
people
makes
do
sense.
that.
And I think that suits you a lot. Like your hair
does.
right now suits
I love
you so
the
much.
brown.
Thank you.
Yeah, for those who don't know, when we met Vero, she was blonde.
She was blonde.
She looks great as a blonde, but I'm loving the brown. Like
this is like my like 15 years old hair. I mean, I have white hair now, so I have to dye it. But you know, when I was 15, that's probably my
Okay,
exactly
so is this like
color.
Close to your natural hair color then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, going back to the natural is always, it's nice.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a good feeling.
It's been nobody. I know I have a team brunette and I have team blonde. Like I know, but I love it. I mean, for now, also my hair needed a rest, so I said, well, okay, let's just keep them a little bit like.
That is for sure. I'm curious to know, what would you say are some of the biggest challenges about working in this industry, and maybe share some things that people wouldn't necessarily expect about it?
What do you mean exactly in terms of what people would not expect about the hair industry?
Yeah, about the hair industry, or about like specific challenges that they might, like people might assume that there's specific things that could be challenging, but
there are like challenges about being a hairstylist.
There's so many, because I mean, especially now that and I think there's a reel on it, and I do think it's like you have to be not a psychologist, but a little bit, you know, you have to play with human emotions, everything. Then you have to videograph it, then you have to edit it, and then you have to do, like, it's crazy the amount of work that you're not like just behind a chair and doing a good job, like making people feel good. There's so much more to it, having a good light, being able to take all those step-by-step pictures. I mean, it doesn't look like it's a lot of job.
It is different now.
Same for you, like with your Instagram. And I remember we had that conversation. Like, this is it. It's so much more work, I think, than maybe it was when I started. When I started, it was like word of mouth. And that still work a lot too. When you have great hair, people will ask you like, oh my God,
who did your hair?
Who did your hair? And these are probably the client I have clients, they're following me for like 20 something years. I'm like, and I'm like, they're not tired or and they're no, and they're so happy. So you never know, like, and one was exactly like that. She was, she saw a girl on the street, she asked her, and then she came to me. And she's still on my chair.
That happens a lot, I feel like, for hairstylists and makeup artists. Like the word of mouth clients are the ones who just stick for the longest time, I notice.
Yeah. Like it's like something you see it. So when you see it, and I always say that's why you have to educate your clients on how to do their own hair and respect. So I do think that's my approach. I always try to have a client, she's coming in, and just like when she's coming back in, she needs to look flawless as well. That's where I feel I did a great job. Where or she knows how to do it, and it's growing well. It's like the lived-in type of thing, and it's like that's what I love the most about it.
Yeah. I always like that after leaving the salon, and then I have my hairstylist tell me like what are things that I should be taking into account for before my next visit.
Or just a little technique as well, like how to do it. Like this is like one tip that you can do if you're, in a hurry or something. Yeah. And so you always like look on point. The cut needs to be also worn, like especially for curly hair. What I always say, it's 2 visits. Yeah. So the first one will be for me to do the hair with all the steps. It takes tons of steps as well because I dry cut and I re-wet it, I re-dry it, then I recut. I mean, it's a long process. Yeah. And I always offer like a touch-up after 2 weeks because curly hair, that's one thing, is that no matter what you're going to do, how you're going to treat them, they're going to do their own thing. They have their own world, and then you're not like, you can't really. So I always offer, often nothing is coming, especially for a first visit. But I do offer like after 2 weeks, they settle in. And then after, maybe that there's one that doesn't want to curl as much or whatever. So you can fix it a little bit, like just on dry hair. Yeah, exactly. So you have to rule with it. You know?
No. And by the way, guys, Vero be giving tips on Instagram.
Yes.
How to do your hair.
She gives a lot. So follow her. We'll plug her at the end of the episode as well. But
thank you.
Follow her and educate yourself and share.
Exactly.
Sharing
do all the
caring.
saving.
Exactly. Do you feel like social media has impacted your craft? I mean, you kind of touched on that, but like how much has it impacted your craft? Has it been good, negative? Like what's going on in your mind when it comes to social media?
Yeah, no, I think it's a great tool. I think word of mouth is still good, but I do think I would say, especially in the beginning of your career, I like also to share. So that's the best way to share tips, tricks. And I invite everyone, like, we always questions ourselves a lot before doing something. Yeah. I would say just share it. And if it helps one person, that's that one person that you help. And if all the others are just like maybe curious, or they're just going to like continue or do their things, you know what I mean? So the most you can share, the better it is, and without judging ourselves too much, which is very hard. Which is very hard, not especially in the fashion world. You want things to be always perfect and looking good, and I'm trying to switch that up a little bit, which is not that easy. But I mean, it's also great souvenir. I know, like, my reels from the fashion week, they're long and all that, but I'm like, all those people that love the behind the scenes, well, that's it. This is your little, like, munching on, like, that little vibe of, like, the fashion weekend. They're long, but hey.
The people who are going to want to watch all the way through, they will.
So. Exactly. And there's always that freedom.
I'm always the kind of person, when I post a reel, I post stories and I know they look good, I'll be rewatching a couple of times.
I'm
like, damn, that's so cute. Like wow, I should edit this like this again, like
we'll be so vain about the stuff that we post and relook. I think I rewatch my own stories more than people will actually engage and see with them. Even my own posts, I'm like, damn, I did that.
Satisfying. Yeah. Right? So as long as that's what it is, and that we could like use it as a nice platform as well to inspire people. I mean, share tricks, that's it.
Yeah. I agree.
Keep it positive.
What would be any advice that you would give to anyone who would want to start pursuing a career as a hairstylist?
I think my path, which is an unusual path, because I wasn't like, since I'm young, I could braid, I could do all this, probably because that's why my mom kind of said, well, you should go and do hair. You're good at it. I would say do your hard school first. This is where you learn all your basics. This is where I got to mix the color. I got to learn my langage visuel, all of that.
Like your visual language.
Yeah, exactly. That's because I think when you're just out of high school, it's young, like 16, 17. It's pretty young to start.
In Quebec,
Yeah. I would say 2 years of CEGEP and then hair school. I really like, the 1.5 year program from the government. It's not perfect, but it gives you your base. It's long and you're going to probably hate it.
Yeah.
But it's like a house.
My cousin
you need
did
your
that.
Foundation. This foundation, honestly, I've learned that this is very precious and we underestimate that how to do just a straight line, how to do all these things. And I know I'm like a fast like learner. I want to do 3 steps ahead, and this is like the time where you have to kind of crunch it and do it.
Yeah, like really take a step back with it and be more patient about the little fine details. That's interesting to hear his perspective about like being adamant on doing the schooling for it, because for us, like within the fashion industry, there's so many of us who will talk such crap about fashion school.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crap, but you got to go through it, kind of. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So
For the most part, yeah.
Once you're there, try to learn as much. Be open to small little details that you will keep and carry along your career. That's for sure. Then after, it's for sure to find a good salon, and I would recommend to work in a hair salon while you do your hair school. I would just go for it. Try to do a part-time, try to find a salon. Salons are looking for assistants, so let's go. All the time. I'm like, so try to find a place where you feel also that you're going to learn, that it's going to be you know, give and give. I don't know, give and give. It's not give and take. It's give and you give, but they give you.
Yeah.
So give and take, and after that, it's the place where you're gonna be. Also, I feel matter for some reason, because people are like discouraged, but maybe try to do a stage or offer yourself to do a stage in different places for free. Go there and just like, so you have the vibe if you like it or not, if you think it's gonna be your place, because and then after, I feel a lot of people are just quitting. They're having a bad experience and they think this is it.
Yeah. By the way, guys, stage is internship.
Yes.
Internship. Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Internship.
Yeah. How many tries did it take for you, like salon wise, when you were assisting at the beginning, to like find a spot that you felt like was going to be beneficial for you to learn as much as you could?
I did. Yeah. It was I did one place.
Oh, okay.
You got lucky.
You got very lucky.
I got very lucky. I mean, I know. So Anna was my mentor. She opened the Pure Salon. I worked there for 10 years, and then I opened my own place. So
wow.
Yeah, I'm really,
It's like the ideal
I got, right, and they were really artistic, doing photo shoots, so, and fashion forward. So I actually did my first fashion week when I was like 20.
Oh, wow.
We did only one show in New York, and it was great. So we did that. Yeah, but listen, that's it. But but hunt for it, you know, go for it.
I feel like you talk a lot about like having a mentor, having a team and stuff. Like, what's to you the importance of having a community for your craft?
It's the most important. Having a community, having like your go-to person for every type of like questions you have. It has not been easy. There's a lot of competition. I mean, especially as a salon owner.
For sure.
But I think coming after like now 14 years of owning my salon, I'm really like way much more mellow and way much more like, hey, you know what? You're not happy or whatever. Like, I feel that everyone has a path, and I really want to respect it and set boundaries for sure. So I feel that, but it's been lately, of course, I feel there's more opening. There's a bit less of competition. People like, there's place for everyone. Everyone have a spot there. There's so many different type of clients that want something different. So if you're going to go, and I would say go for it, try it. You know, it's not because there's that many salons, but we're fortunate, I feel, in Montreal. We have a lot of amazing talent.
There's a lot.
I've been like through all Canada, and I've been now a bit more in New York, but I feel there's a lot of talent here.
There is a lot of talent here. I've met quite a few here over time, of either being on sets or just like whether we've done assisting work, which is obviously where we met you, and then just modeling on set as well. Like so many hairstylists, MUAs, etc. But don't disregard your own city, guys. That's all I'm trying to say. Like there's a lot. There are a lot of talented people.
Oh my God.
And I love that you said that don't disregard your city too, because we both live in Ottawa. Like I used to live here, went to Ottawa, came back here, but there's a lot of like Ottawa sold this and that and da. But it's like there's so much talent in Ottawa. That's something I will never ever deny. And I think like as myself, like as an artist, I really discovered myself as an artist in Ottawa. It just so happened that for what I want to do, I can't stay there because there's a lot more opportunities in other places, and I had to branch out. But like the base of like who I am as an artist started there.
Yeah, I agree.
That's it. Like I mean, and Canada, I mean, even I would even talk about international, because the L'Oreal Professional is like international, and I've been to a lot of shows, even like US, a bit everywhere. But yeah, I would say North America is very, there's a lot of talent here. I mean, UK as well, as I'm talking more about hair. We've been looking for like Vida Sassoon. I mean, the UK hair industry is huge. A bit everywhere now, also because now with the Instagram, we get to see people from Australia. We get to follow people all around the world, and there's talent everywhere. I feel Montreal, there's not as much of like clients that travels tells me, oh my God, I have trouble to find a hairdresser over there or over there. It's tough to find like people that, or maybe has their taste, whatever it is. Yeah, they're like, I'm like, here, yeah, we're lucky.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you a question. I slipped my mind. That happens. Yes, I wanted to know, because I know that, for example, like for makeup artists or hairstylists, it's very important to kind of like have your niche, I guess you could say. So like, you know, some stylists, they're more into personal styling or commercial, or same with makeup artists. Do you feel like that's something that's important in your craft, to kind of have a specialty
or a signature kind of?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I try to do a bit of everything, because here we have the seasons. If you're an in-salon stylist as well, it's great to have a variety of like things you can do in the salon, around the salon. The more, like, let's say you're more specialized in like highlights or that type of thing, then once you do all your highlights in December, then okay, so what's next in January? People did all their big jobs. So I think to try to do as much as you're comfortable with, like cutting men's hair, doing more treatments, styling, whatever it is, and then even like some session work. I mean, the more diversified you're going to get, I think for the longevity of the career, it's easier, better, probably. I'm doing a lot of hair extensions.
I was going to ask you, what do you feel like is your specialty?
For sure, hair extensions.
Okay.
I started like when I did my interview at for the Pure Salon. I had hair extensions, and I have weft that were braided. So for me, I was at hair school, so it was kind of, I have like blonde hair that long, and I have weft all over. But the way I did them, it was kind of good. But I do think I was feeling I need something that's going to be more like, let's say, appropriate for my hair texture. And I would do like even like beeswax, and I don't know, I didn't know what I was doing. That's when I was studying hair. And then we went to Congrès in Toronto with my new boss, because I got the job. And then, yay! And then she saw that company called Great Lengths, and they do like wavy, they're Indian hair. So they're just a little buddy wave, and it's fusion. So 100% natural hair. And she's like, hey, I think this could like work. And I was one of the first, like we were the first salon certified, I think, in Quebec of that company. And this is what I've been doing a lot, like hair extensions. So it's like a bit like the braiding, I would say, is that kind of really where you get into the zone, where you do that kind of same thing, or like, and I love it. It's meticulous. I'm a perfectionist. I'm a Virgos, for those who knows. I'm like, I love those little like very
fine detailed
things. And,
so you talked about education, you talked about having a team and stuff like that. How do you bring that sense of education, community within your own salon, with your own hairdressers? That's
the thing. I try to teach one-on-one the most that I can. I have also people that I like to mentor, also the assistant. But I think it's great to have people coming from outside. That's for sure. So every time we have a specific at least 2 to 3 times a year. I have a master stylist who's coming, and it's always different subject. We also had the curly hair with Danny.
Yes,
I saw that.
Yes, and that was
dope.
so inspiring. Oh my God. And we all want her back for the cutting now.
Yeah.
Like, we got the styling, and it's so satisfying too, because it's a long job too, to like really tame the curly hair and
It's
really
a lot.
know. And she taught us so much. So Danny, thank you.
Yeah.
Shout out to her.
Yes.
I'm curious because we did talk about community earlier, but how would you describe in your own words what the hairstyling community is to people who are not aware?
I think I don't know how to say it. We've always been like, I feel, original people. I mean, there's always that, like, when we kind of share our story, like, how did you, especially at Danny class, we did it exactly like, how did you get there? She was young, but then your parents always never really believe you can do a great career with it, right?
Yeah.
Everyone has that
That's
kind of
like
same.
Everybody who gets into any creative industry ever. It's
We're
always
like,
that.
okay, so here it is. We're always a little bit originals or
Outcast, kind of.
loving the fashion, maybe, always like the out of the box, I would say.
Yeah.
Crew, always a little bit like human, a lot of like, you need human skills for sure. You need to be the social, like, so a lot of say the
extroverted people.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, and it's artistic, it is creative, it's fun. I love it. Yeah. I feel you can be yourself. Yeah. Whoever you want to be, and it's fine. Nobody's going to tell you how to dress, or I mean, maybe some places, but I mean, that's obviously not local B. No, there's not going to be a dress code. There's going to be some laughs, and I don't know. It's a good vibe.
Yeah,
it's nice. That's nice to hear. I feel like that it's like that for a lot of niched markets in terms of jobs and stuff, because I've even heard a similar perspective like that in terms of like the MUA community with makeup artists as well, or even just the creative community period with like people in a smaller city, because I feel like we touched on it with talent, like where we're from in Ottawa as well, but everybody that we know who do different things, like we all like back each other so much and support each other so much within the city. Yes, anytime that we meet, we want to connect, and like everybody has either a similar start to their story or something about them, whether it's a quirk or whether they're introverted, extroverted, they're expressive in their own way, or like to a regular Joe, they could be, a bit odd or a bit weird. But for us, it's like, we see you. Like you just feel seen within that space.
Yeah, understand. You feel, it feels like good. Yeah. It feels good. It does. Far from that 9 to 5, I feel, job where I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like when after we met you, I was like talking to Yasmine about you. I was like, oh my God, like she's such a good vibe. Like you were, I just loved watching you work. Yeah. And I think it's like a testament to how much you're so passionate about what you do, and you love what you do, and like you're ready to take on a challenge and stuff. And like I was just like excited to see how you worked, how excited you were. Yeah. And I was just like, I just want to talk to her, like your vibe was so cool. So for me, it was just like, we need to have her on the podcast.
It's
for sure.
Reciproc.
No,
it was such a great day. Like
that was fun.
Seeing you dancing. I got all your playlists. That's it. The best.
Oh, yeah. For those who are not aware, maybe you've seen some stories here and there.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah. If you're on the Close Friends, you're lucky enough to see some behind the scenes. But just know that if you hire us for professional sets, we'll try our best to not...
We'll still be professional. We'll get the
we're going to be professional. We're going to get stuff done. But don't take us too serious.
Yeah, well, we'll show you a 1-2 step.
A little something. Yeah. Whether it's a hoedown line or some Congolese music, whichever one it might be.
Whichever one.
Depends on the mood.
What are some of your goals in the next 3, 5, 10?
however many years
in your career path. Do you even have any goals?
Yeah.
Oh my God. What would be my goals? Honestly, I just got with like one of my old colleague, Rebecca. We just did a braid class. So I got the class with Danny. Now I got the class of braiding. Not because, I mean, I will never be able to, especially like I've saw her work since, and as I was speaking, you know, she did her stage at Local B. And I've always admired her. Like she did braids and she's so talented. I mean, so it's not because you just start. That's what I inspire, for sure. I teach her a lot, the hair extensions, a lot of things. But she taught me, and she did her first class of braiding at Local B. And she did taught me, and Tanya, she's working with me also at the Fashion Week. So I said, well, we should just, you know, at least know how to section, how to just prep hair, because you can be handful if you just prep hair properly with the right brush. That's what I said, because she gave me that brush and it's magical. I don't know the name.
I need to find a good brush.
I will put it on my Instagram if you're following me, or where to get it, or I'll direct you to Rebecca. I mean, I've been obsessed, and I tried, like I had my mannequin head, and even at night my husband was like, what are you, like, I'm braiding, trying to do feet and braids. It's like, oh my God, it's like, so it's hard, but I'm like passionate and I love it. So if I could do, like, I don't want to do it fast. I'm not going to steal anybody's job, because I would never call myself that I can braid or anything, but at least for my personal satisfaction, if I'm on a set, like let's say, and I'm going to do like a look, I can do it from A to Z, like, and be confident. It's going to take time for sure. But just do that. Yeah, I'm obsessed with braids. So that's one thing. And now I learned so many things also with tons of leads in New York. So I just want to practice that. I don't know what's my next move. Doing more session work, I think. That's what I would love. A little more session work. Yeah. I'm working on it. Maybe having like being represented. We'll see.
Interesting.
We'll see. That could be fun.
That could be fun.
But yeah, earlier off record, we were talking about the whole braiding thing, and I was explaining how, especially for Black people, like hair is such a cultural element. So it's like, I've literally never had anybody that I did not personally know touch my head. You know, like it was my mom, it was a friend, and for a lot of us, it's like that. And a lot of us, we learn how to do hair through our mothers, to our friends, and then like literally all of the hairstylists that I know who know how to do like braids and stuff. If they did go to hair school, they did not learn how to do those things in hair school. It was through like practice. It was like they were, you know, giving services during lunchtime, braiding other people's hair. Like my sister's the same. She started braiding her friend's hair, my sister's hair, and stuff like that. She started how to do her own hair. So it's like, it's a lot of like passed down knowledge. It's a lot of like trial and error. And now obviously there's information on the internet. You can watch videos and whatnot.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed.
And it helps. But I think like that's the part that's really important to like mention. And I think that's why it's really important to have like Black hairstylists when you're doing 100%. Black people's hair, because it's like a very cultural, it's a very spiritual, it's a very like personal, it's a very intimate moment. You know what I mean? Like, how many times have I sat in between my mom's leg to get my hair done? I'm falling asleep, or like, you know, stuff like that. Like, these are images that like I remember, and a lot of us remember. So I think it's like, as much as yes, we need more people who exactly are trying to learn to make sure that they can, if they are on set, there's a hand that needs to be
If
given.
your hands needs to be there, you need to know how to handle, how to not damage the hair. That's like being respectful, being delicate and gentle, and also asking if the person is comfortable. That's it. Like the first thing, are you comfortable? Is it okay? Especially with curly hair as well. Like sometimes it's no heat. I think even at Fashion Week, one of the things I would say is to make sure you make your model feel confident. Introduce yourself properly. Ask what is it okay, is this, and then
consent's very important.
Le consentement. It's true, and to ask, and if the model love to have, like, let's say the edges done by that person or or if you see, okay, we're in a rush, you try always to be gentle as much as possible, and making sure that the person feels good about it. I think it's like behind a chair. It's exactly like it is behind the chair at the salon. If you treat it that way, I feel that's what I did, and I feel it helped me out a lot.
So I love that you're learning and you're making sure that the people who work in your salon also learn. Because it's important skills to have. But I love that you mentioned that you're not here to steal anybody's job, because it's true.
No way.
We need to make sure that we have like black hair because like we need them. We need to have them on set.
100%.
We need to have them on Fashion Week. We need to have them behind the chair. It's important.
Every show there's like a braider. I mean, there's always a team, and I do think it's so important. I will never call myself or even pretend. I mean, I'm just so like, there's a few braiders, and I've just give the hair because I love to watch. I love to see, and I'm like, so you're doing about 25 steps in about half a second. This is what it is.
It's such skill.
It's unreal.
It's insane skills.
I am like so
in awe.
Comment tu dis, genre, je suis impressed. I'm a real fan. That's what it is. I'm a real fan, and I'm like, oh my God. Oh, you do like, and I watch, and I can't even figure out like half of the 25 skills she just nailed down in about 3 seconds. I'm like, okay.
I'm like that with wig videos that I see on TikTok. I'm like, how do you lay this down so well? Like, I think these girls do it on themselves, and I'm just like, huh?
Yeah,
Even some of my
also
girlfriends.
did the wig class, and that's so. And I used a lot of like things like that also, because there's a lot of wigs often at the Fashion Week. So I wanted to make sure I can do a good wig wrap. And one of my colleagues, she was there. Imagine, she's doing the wig wrap for the wig, and for some reason the wig is not coming. And the designer is, I think, one floor upstairs. So the model goes up with her wig wrap on. She did like the kind of facelift with the wrap around the cap. And everyone's like, you're not putting a wig on this. It was so well executed, and it was like so perfect. She's like, she's going out like that. She kept her wig wrap.
Her wig cap? That's so funny.
No, not the wig cap, the wig wrap.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, her wig wrap. That's how you wrap the hair before the wig to put the wig. Sorry, not a wig cap, a wig wrap.
Okay.
We learned how to do it. There's 3 different ways, you can do it however you want, but we learned like 3 efficient way. And the model did the runway
in a
wig wrap without a wig.
That's insane.
That's I've never heard of that.
It was so perfect, so slick, like a wet look a little bit with like it was just, and I looked, it's beautiful. Wow. Everyone loved it. And she's like, okay, you're going to do more.
Damn. I need to see this image.
I know, me too.
Okay, I'm going to show you after.
I'm so curious.
So just to wrap up, I guess we've kind of touched on that a little bit, but what's next for you? What should people expect from you, career-wise, personal life, with the salon, whatever it is, travels?
Tell us the tea.
Oh, travels. Yeah. Well, my son is like 3.5.
Oh, he's so cute, by the way.
Yeah. Wilson. Oh my God, the love of my life. And my husband as well, for sure. I mean, my boys. What to expect? I mean, honestly, I want to travel a little more now. He's a little bit older, and I would love to bring him to, I don't know, it would be so cool to bring him even to the Fashion Week. That would be so cool.
Oh my God. Bring your kid to work, literally. Fashion Week.
I know, like, that would be so, I think, oh my God, it will happen one day for sure.
I think he'd eat it up.
Yeah.
I think you would.
More travels. I mean, more session work, I think. I've been, I started Local B with a business partner, Linda. And then after 10 years, I bought her back. And so now it's about 4 years. I'm on my own. So I don't know, like, I had to, and especially as a mom, so I had to put a bit my creative side aside. So I think just like having more creativity, work, and voila.
I'm looking forward to seeing it all transpire.
Yeah, me too. Hopefully, we get to work with each
Well,
other again.
yeah.
Exactly. I'm like, well, I want to work with you girls as much as I can. And Brava Studio.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so proud.
Shout out
of,
to everyone over there.
Audrey-Anne
Rebecca.
and Rebecca. Yeah. I
Adrienne.
mean, so let's try to see each other a little more.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
We need
I'm so
to
down.
make
Even
it
for
happen.
coffee.
Yeah,
Yes.
we
So
talked
down.
about that in the group chat for the last shoot that we did. You
Yeah.
you were on vacation at the time, but one of your hairstylists was
Yeah,
there from the
Dominica.
salon.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
great.
So good. Yeah.
I think it'd be really cool. And I love the fact that, like, every time we've been on set, it's literally been just all women working, except for
Yeah.
one time. But it
Right.
was the model.
Because the
But,
model-
like,
I was
every
like,
time-
Derek, yeah.
Yeah, but every time
Oui.
it's been all women, and I love the conversations that we get to have, the sense of like
Yeah.
comfort that we have too.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just
it's so
like,
precious.
It's so calming, and it's like the most inviting energy ever to like work all
Yeah.
together in that studio. So it's just
Like,
like
I don't know if it would have been so comfortable to like show our personality and how we are like in real life.
if it weren't for all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
I mean, that concludes this episode, guys. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for watching.
Yes.
Again, my name is Bernie.
My name is Yasmine.
This was Vero. Thank you so much for
Merci.
being
Yes,
here.
thank you for
Thank
being
you
here.
so
We
much.
appreciate you.
You were listening to the Fashion Faux podcast. This is a place where we have candid conversations with industry professionals about the fashion industry.
Mhm.
Truly a mouthful.
Really is.
With that said, sorry. See you next time.
Yes, and you can also find us if you want to follow along at the Fashion Faux podcast on Instagram, and you can find us individually at
King Bernie with 2 E's at the end.
and at wow at yes Isaiah on Instagram. Vero, where can we find you?
Vero Local B.
Simple as that,
Everything will be in the show notes.
as always. And yeah, that said, love always.
And always love.
Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe for more. My name is Bernie. And my name is Yasmine. Remember, love always and always love.